So, Chris Shelton, hi, it's Lori Vance here. I saw your video today, your latest one, with the lady who wrote the book about bound choice, about first generation and second generation cult survivors. And during that interview, you guys talked a little bit about something that triggered a memory for me. About business cults. And yes, there, like Enron, yes, there absolutely are business cults. I babysat when I was a teenager for this couple back in the 1980s. And I thought, you know, I thought they were pretty, I don't know, pretty normal. They were kind of yuppie-ish, kind of what we called it back then. The whole house was not only clean, it was like sanitary. And they had two little boys. One was 5 and one was 2.5 or 3. And they had a baby daughter on the way. So anyway, the instructions that I had to follow, this is when I noticed the first time that I started to notice something wasn't right with these people. Everything in their house was from Amway. And then I found out that's what they did for a living. She worked part-time at a local hospital as a receptionist, but he was full-time in Amway. And he must have been real deep in, because these people were off. I had to feed these children one Amway breakfast bar only, and that was the only thing the children were allowed to eat, were products from Amway. And that kind of struck me funny, but my mother had always worked for doctors. I was around doctors my entire life in our social circle and whatnot. And I knew that, children were born with food sensitivities. So I put it down to that. Maybe the children, they're not my kids, so it's not my business. So I was to feed them one Amway food bar, and I was to cut it in a certain way. They were only allowed to drink water and Active 8 juice. Active 8 juice is an Amway product. At least it was at the time. When lunch came around, I cannot remember what exactly it was, but I remember like a lot of seeds, nuts, grains, and I remember a lot of like fruit leather, like organic this and that. And these poor little boys were just like always starving. But the weirdest thing that I can remember was the nighttime routine. I was to bathe the boys in a tub with only Amway soap and wash their hair with Amway shampoo. Then when I put them to bed, this was the weird thing. And it made me uncomfortable. Probably for a good reason, because it's creepy. They had me, the boys shared a room because the third bedroom in the house was now being prepared for the baby girl that was on the way. But the boys shared a room, and I thought it was odd for them to be sleeping in cribs at those ages. So that was the first kind of weirdness that I felt. But they made me play sleep tapes. These children were not allowed to listen to the radio. They were not allowed to watch videotapes. They were not allowed to watch television. The television was for the parents only. And I mean, they had it under lock and key, which I also found a little disturbing. But anyway, this guy comes on, and it's like this self-hypnosis kind of stuff. And I remember as sleep comes over you to bathe your body for the next day, it's this soft soap kind of voice, And it was just weird. It was just weird stuff. And why you would have that playing every single night in the bedroom of your toddler and your preschooler, I have no idea. But I would say my experience, Chris, with Amway, and it's the people who sell it, has always been negative and off-putting and weird. And I definitely think that the people that I babysat for, you could say, were in deep enough that, they qualified as cult members. So I just wanted to put that out there. I appreciate what you do. I'm pulling out of the driveway now, so I'm going to stop. But I really appreciate your channel. You're doing a great thing for humanity as a whole, and I hope you see this. Bye.